Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It is Wednesday, August the 11th. We are now just 3 days away from, of course, that big one against Manchester United. I cannot wait. We've got loads to go through in today's episode, as is always the case. Before we do get into it, please smash a like on the stream, subscribe, comment, get your notification bell smashed. There will be an opposition preview dropping at some point later on this evening, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that as well. And let's get into today's video. And this is the moment when I take a stand. Well, guys, we're going to start with a quick update on Lewis O'Brien. We know that nothing is imminent at this moment in time. You know, the YEP, though, have reported that the two parties are not a million miles apart in their valuation of the player. We know that Leeds United have tried a number of different, permutations when it comes to making an offer for Lewis O'Brien. Angus Kinnear come out and said in the Square Ball, which the piece that I did yesterday, explaining how Leeds, it would take something astronomical, something big, something exciting for them to really dip their toe in the market much further. But I think that excludes Lewis O'Brien. He was very candid on Lewis O'Brien. I think he will come in. Whether or not we get any more, look, we're all hoping and praying for another Rafinha situation, aren't we? That's the cold hard facts. That's what all us fans want. Whether or not that situation, presents itself, we will have to wait and see. But it's clear that Lewis O'Brien is a target that Leeds United really want in the door. And the YEP understands that the two parties are not a million miles apart in their valuation. It has all been quiet this week. We know that bids went in last week. We know that there was potential player push cash. There was, 10 million in installments. There was a bid of 2 to 3 million. How much truth there is in all these different permutations, we'll never really know. But we know that bids have gone in, that's for sure. But the YEP understands that the two parties are not that far away. So I do think we'll see Lewis O'Brien come in. He was a little bit sobering, a little bit somber yesterday, hearing obviously what Angus had said. It was a bit like, oh, really? I think we as a fan base, the way we ended the season with a few more additions, we were thinking, Europe, let's go. I think what it has done is tempered the Leeds United fan base's expectations, and probably rightly so, because they needed to be. I even think had we have brought extra additions in, we still, might have been in a scenario where we won't push for Europe, just because I see the rest of the division has improved massively in terms of the business, and teams will look at Leeds as a different proposition this time. So I think in a sense it's a good thing, because people are aware, right, okay, Europe may be off the cards, but we still will have a fantastic season, that's for sure, with Bielsa at the helm. Just while we're on Bielsa as well, guys, I'm just going to quickly share a video with you. A guy by the name of Tom Horner on Twitter shared this yesterday. He was at the Etihad, visiting the Etihad in Manchester, and he saw Marcelo Bielsa at the Etihad. Why he was there, I do not know. Tom said he was with a player and an agent leaving the ground. From the clip that I'm going to share with you, there is, what looks like a younger individual and a security guard. Whether or not, there is more to the video clip, or he's seen more than what we have seen on Twitter. But it's clear Marcelo Bielsa was in Manchester. Why was he there? Who knows? I think we as a fan base are like, is it Yangel Herrera? Could it be Yangel Herrera? Or could it be absolute dreamland and be Bernardo Silva? Maybe we're acquiring him on a season-long loan from Manchester City. I mean, that's pipe dream stuff, of course. I think personally maybe Bielsa was just there to see Pep, witness a training session. I don't know, have a look at Jack Grealish in the flesh, maybe take him on loan. I'm not sure. I'm not going to read too much into it. But Bielsa was in Manchester and he was at the City ground. Let's hope that means he's going to meet with a player. We'll have to wait and see. We are going to stick with Bielsa as well. He did an interview yesterday on Sky Sports. Doesn't do many interviews, so it's nice to see and hear him speak. He spoke about last season, how ninth was a great position, but he doesn't want to exaggerate something that is not that great. You know what he's like, he can speak in riddles. So he's saying, yeah, look, ninth, good position, but I don't want to over-exaggerate because it wasn't that great. He says, yes, he was asked a question about how teams might look at Leeds United this season. He says, yes, we are now better known to our rivals. but they are also better known to us. And I love that from Bielsa, you know, that of course, like gets levelled, second season syndrome, teams might have worked Leeds out. I mean, BS, it's a fallacy. No one can work out this man. I dare say even his missus hasn't worked him out properly yet. But I think it's really great comment for him to say, yeah, they've worked us out, or maybe they know more about us, but we also know more about them, which means Bielsa's up for it, man. Always spiky, always sharp. He spoke about Junior Firpo. He's saying, you know, training sessions specifically are not things we should talk about. But yes, he is a player with a lot of personality who is technically very adept. And physically very gifted. No player joins Barcelona unless they have great attributes. He has been our main sole signing for the first team, and I think he's going to have an absolutely fantastic season. I just hope and pray that the reason that he wasn't risked in these pre-season games was to make sure he was ready for Manchester United, because I think he will offer us so much. He spoke about Diego Llorente as well, and he spoke about last season, how everything he went through made him stronger because he was able to confront it, resolve it, and overcome it. He said players who spend most time on the ball are central defenders. So he also has an important role in terms of distribution and starting our play. We know that when he came into the side, we improved defensively. Diego Llorente will be a huge miss. I think he will be out for a couple of weeks, it would see at the start of the season. I think it's interesting to hear him say that centre-backs spend the most time on the ball. I dare say they're doing in different sides in the Premier League, like a Burnley, etc., because all they do is hit it forward. But he knows how important, you know, the centre-backs are to Leeds United. When he was speaking on Firpo as well, Firpo actually did an interview as well in his native tongue that was actually transcribed and put into English. And he said, look, Leeds United is helping him fall back in love with football. Just on the whole move, he says from his perspective, he's got 2 kids and a structured family. And I think that the English culture really suits that. He's looking forward to the future at Leeds United. He spoke about the way Orta presented the project. This is why I can never understand why someone like a Conor Gallagher hasn't chosen Leeds United when we know just how good Victor Orta is when he presents them with things. And he said the way I was presented the project the first day I came here with Victor Orta and his staff made me love it, basically because of him. He said, I've been here 2 weeks and I've seen more videos of myself than I have in my 2 years at Barca. You know, and that's no slant on Barca. I mean, they change coaches more than I change my underpants, to be honest. But the meticulous preparation that Marcelo Bielsa goes through is second to none. I remember that story about Mendy, who plays at City, when he was saying he used to show me videos. And then I finally asked him a question and he said, now I will teach you. Now I will, show you. It's the fact that Junior Firpo's played at the highest level in terms of being at Barcelona, and he's watched more videos of himself in 2 weeks than he did in 2 years at Barcelona. And this is how Bielsa improves players. It's absolutely fantastic. He said it's really good because they get to explain to you the way you have to play, the way they want you to do certain things in every possible situation. And in the end, they look really into detail. He says, I think I can achieve good things personally and collectively at Leeds United. Let's see how we go. He said it would be incredible with the fans here. I know I can't wait to get back at Elland Road. He says who by all accounts are very similar to Real Betis fans. And he said, my hope is to get into Europe. That's what he finished. I seen someone comment on my video actually yesterday saying, who from the club's talking about Europe? Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but we've had 2 interviews now from players. One, Junior Firpo mentioned it. Might be candid, but he mentioned it. And also Tyler Roberts has mentioned it as well. So the players in that camp are dreaming of getting into Europe with Marcelo Bielsa and Leeds United. The Premier League have released a statement regarding matchday protocols when it comes to COVID-19, warning that fans at some grounds will have their COVID-19 status randomly checked, okay? What that means is that fans going to games should be prepared to show they have been fully vaccinated or have received a negative lateral flow test in the previous 48 hours. There's going to be an NHS COVID pass through the NHS app or website link. Listen, I'm vaccinated. I didn't know about this pass thing, so I'll have to look into that. But just be aware, for those that are going to the ground, you may be approached to ask proof of that. The statement continues to say, initially, in the first few match days of the season, supporters can expect the introduction of random spot checks for ticket holders at some grounds as we establish the required processes so clubs and fans are prepared for all match attenders to have their COVID-19 status checked upon arrival should it become mandatory. We know that the government are trying to push through for October that it will become mandatory. So I guess Premier League clubs are preparing for that eventuality. So just be aware, guys, if you go to the ground on Saturday in 2 weeks' time, against Everton, there may be a chance that you will be approached. Or even if indeed if you're going to Old Trafford, I'd assume it will be the same there. Just on that Old Trafford game, and of course the big one against Manchester United, you can actually go watch that game live at the Centenary Pavilion on Saturday. There is a chance for 500 people to go watch that game at the Centenary Pavilion. It is £35 per person. On the website, it says the tickets are just £35. That's a lot of money, to be fair. But yeah, it's a £1 online booking fee. It starts at 11:30 and will run all the way to 4:30. So if you're in and around Leeds, you're stuck for a thing to do. You've got a spare £35 burning all in your pocket. Get yourself to the Centenary Pavilion and watch it with 499 other Leeds fans as well. Just while we're on Leeds United and the website and the official things from the club, the Leeds United Foundation launched a Matchday Experience initiative. It's an exciting opportunity for local grassroots teams. So basically what's going to happen, there is an opportunity for local grassroots teams from each to attend each of the Premier League games during the 21-22 season. A number of match day tickets will be made available to grassroots clubs across Leeds and further afield, which I think is a great initiative. We've all been at Elland Road when the young football teams are walking around the pitch, and I think that ensuring that continues, make sure that we get that next generation of fan. We're going to see that anyway because we're now in the Premier League. We're no longer in the doldrums. I, for one, yesterday actually put my son on the season ticket list as well. He's 2-year-old, but I was thinking, if I don't get him on now, then when's he going to get a season ticket? So I was joking with my pal who's done the same. I said, we might get them season tickets when they're 30-year-olds, Also, guys, just something to be aware of today, this evening as well. Leeds United will begin their Carabao Cup campaign this season, obviously in the second round. We will be in the hat this evening for that Carabao Cup draw. So if you wanted to watch that, to find out who we get, then of course you can see that. I think we played Hull last time and we lost out on penalties. It was an absolute shite show, if we're being totally honest. And just to finish as well, guys, a little bit of England, more so Calvin Phillips. Barcelona legend Xavi. Yes, Xavi has been speaking glowingly about Calvin Phillips, our very own Yorkshire Pirlo. And yet people tell me this guy shouldn't be in the England squad. Oh, he's not good enough. Oh, he shouldn't start. Oh, you're waxing lyrical. He's not that good. Listen, we've heard it from De Jong. We've heard it from Ballack. We've heard it from Ozil. And now from Xavi. Xavi says, I've seen England at a fantastic level. They have absolutely everything in the squad. They were just a penalty away from winning the Euros. He says this generation is young, physical, strong, but also great technically, with a great group of players. They'll always be competitive. And he says he could see us fighting for the World Cup without a shadow of a doubt. The 4 times Champions League winner, guys, went on to say, I was hugely impressed by the midfield duo of Phillips and Rice. He said, I didn't know them before, but seeing them during the tournament, them two were absolutely superb, which is great to hear from a player at his level, about our very own Yorkshire Pirlo, our very own Calvin Phillips. I feel like a proud dad, But listen, that was your Daily Leeds. Thank you so much for watching today's episode on Wednesday, August the 11th. We're a step closer to that tie against Manchester United. Remember, keep it locked. We'll have watch-alongs, not just of Leeds, of all the other games as well. We'll have an opposition preview, my preview coming out as well. So keep it locked as per. Thank you so much always for your continued support, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.